please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
Half a day, I'm Mitsuki Horiyama. You're watching KUAM News Weekend Edition. Thanks for joining us. Well, new details tonight in the attack involving multiple Guam police officers assigned to the Highway Patrol Division. KUAM News brought you the story back in February after the officers were placed on paid leave. Nick Delgado has the update.
A violent encounter and tensions flaring between two police sergeants and a police officer 3 at the Guam Police Department's Highway Patrol Division. KUAM learning new details into the case and what may have sparked the workplace violence reported back in February at the Tizen headquarters. We are not identifying the officers for now, so we will refer to them by their ranks as Sergeant 1 and Sergeant 2. Sources. The police officer 3 asked Sergeant 1 when he was going to relocate his office so that he could move in. Sergeant 1 apparently getting triggered. That's when Sergeant 2 stepped in, telling the PO3 to let Sergeant 1 calm down, adding that he may want to apologize to him. Sergeant 1 then was seen yelling at the PO3. Sergeant 1 then allegedly threatening to attack the PO3 before stating that they both had guns and they should go outside so he could shoot him. Apparently in a rage, Sergeant 2 stood between them, trying to keep the peace. That's when Sergeant 1 turned his frustration toward Sergeant 2, walking up to him, then forcing Sergeant 2 to push Sergeant 1 back. Sergeant 1 attempted to hit Sergeant 2 with his flask before Sergeant 2 reacted by punching him in the face. Another officer rushed in to break it up but was apparently kicked during the struggle. It's then investigators learned that Sergeant 1 hit Sergeant 2 in the head with a flask. In a recent interview, Chief Stephen Ignacio confirming those officers are back on duty after previously being placed on paid leave.
The officers are all back to work, but the investigation continues. Again, like I said, I only have X amount of days which officers can be placed on administrative leave. Once those days expire, unless I have reason to continue, but I have no other reason to continue the leave.
Sergeant 1 was apparently transferred out of Highway to one of the police precincts.
They've come back, of course, under my authority as the chief, I've reassigned some of them, to make sure that there's no further incidences that occur, and then we continue the investigation to determine, what, if any, thing caused the incident to occur, and what, if any, disciplinary action needs to be taken.
The question now, could Sergeant 1 face criminal charges for his alleged involvement in the attack? KUAM has reached out to the chief for an update to the investigation and awaits an interview. Nick Delgado, KUAM News.
Well, it's been just over 2 weeks since school resource officers were deployed to 6 public schools. Now KUAM is sitting down with GPD's top brass to see how the program is taking shape. Destiny Cruz-Langus has more.
With Easter break around the corner, Guam Police School resource officers will be using the pause to debrief on how their program is shaping up across 6 public school campuses. GPD Chief of Police Steve Ignacio aims to review the cases officers have handled, the calls they've responded to, and incidents involving minors taken into custody or even arrested.
As recent as yesterday, I believe there was a student up at Ukadu was involved in a crash in the parking lot of the school, and all to find out that the student was 18-year-old, was charged as an adult, was driving under the influence of alcohol, yet gotten drunk on the school campus, drove off and damaged somebody's car in the process.
And while SROs are stationed at select schools to address and deter crime, their role requires a careful balance. SROs receiving guidance from consultants at the Robert F. Kennedy Juvenile Justice Center.
Your role is really not there to be punitive. It's not there to punish the students because, these are young adults. Young kids that, need to be mentored. They need to be, kind of given that tutelage to go on the right path. And so you don't want to turn everything that they do into a crime.
KUAM checking in with Officer Jesselyn Balahaja, who's deployed to John F. Kennedy High School.
I just like to go around and make sure I introduce myself to the kids. That way they feel comfortable. But, so far I've met with a couple groups during lunchtime or break. And from that engagement, every day now they're like, hey, Officer Balahaja, how you doing? Have a good day. More so getting to know the child and being their mentor, even helping educate them. That way, more so they're not scared of the police.
Turner. Trapping, neutering, then releasing free roaming dogs. The policy initiative comes from the newly established Dog Population Management Task Force convened by the Lieutenant Governor, Territorial Veterinarian Dr. Mariana Turner.
And the reason why it's so important is because, well, one, culling animals or just removing them and euthanizing them, it's known to not work. It doesn't work because it does not get to the reason why those animals are in the street in the first place.
She says culling animals only causes a vacuum effect.
What that does is whatever animals are remaining in that space, they have less competition for resources. So whatever food is there, well, now those remaining animals have more food for themselves, which makes them more robust and able to have larger litters of puppies.
With thousands of owned dogs, stray dogs, and abandoned dogs roaming free, the TNR program is a humane and effective solution to manage the population.
The only way to stop that influx of more community animals on the streets is to decrease the reproduction rate. And so by picking those up off the street, getting them spayed and neutered, and then returning them back to the community that they're from, we can stabilize the situation.
It's also to mitigate risks to public safety, animal welfare, and environmental health. She says not all dogs will indiscriminately be put back on the streets.
I do know some of our community members are definitely concerned that these animals are chasing after children, going to the bus stop or people just walking on the street. And I sympathize with that. It's like we don't want to just be putting animals out there that are going to continue that part of the problem.
There are plans in place to humanely euthanize, quote, dominantly aggressive dogs and those clearly suffering medically.
We're trying to stabilize the population so it doesn't keep going up and up and up, which is going to help our animal control officers. So when we do have these nuisance animals that are in the community, they can focus on target removing those instead of just this constant, I got to pull all of these stray dogs off the street. Right now, it's just too overwhelming of a task. And it really doesn't matter how many animal control officers we have. If all we're doing is removing them, we're never going to have enough.
The draft legislation will be heading to Oversight Senator Tony Ada in the next couple months, but the feedback so far, she says, has been supportive. Celebrating differences in culture and what we have in common is a big part of what makes KUAM great. And at the end of the month, several schools will compete in an event that tests their knowledge of the beautiful language of Japan. Here's more.
Japanese clubs and classes from several high schools across the public, private, and federal sectors will gather at the Nikko on April 27th for the KUAM Nihongo Challenge Bowl. The event gauges students' oral and written abilities to demonstrate their knowledge of the Japanese language.
The first year student, for example, we learn hiragana, katakana, and some kanji is a character. And then we need to learn particle, which is
like a subject marker or object marker. Now, these things you learn.
And then need to memorize verb, adjective, and noun.
Now, the island-wide competition isn't about memorization, but the application of sentence structure and proper grammar.
Understand the grammar or cultures. So, which means when you read sentences, fill in the blanks using particles, which marker you have to put, multiple choice or right. Or reading and think about answer in Japanese. Or listening, so speaker speaks something, then you understand, take a note, and maybe question will be total how much, writing kanji, or which word is incorrect. You need to find the incorrect word and write down.
And a certain campus in Upper Tumon is looking to repeat the win that they got last year.
Last year, the winner was St. John's.
Okay.
Level 1, 2, 3.
It's all St. John. Last year was St. John, FD, Notre Dame, and Southern, and Guam High.
Yeah.
And then one more school.
Simon Sanchez.
Simon Sanchez.
But the overall goal is the knowledge of culture and gaining a deeper appreciation for our neighbors to the north. Whether motivated by popular culture or a quest to explore the world beyond Guam shores, this event broadens the minds of all involved.
Very common entrance is the manga, anime.
Anime, that helps.
Yeah. And in the past, I didn't like anime using in the class, but it really worked. And they were listening in the Japanese version and bringing, what does it mean? Oh, that is this meaning. Oh, you learn. You can use that things. Yeah, anime is the strong one.
Another deadline is fast approaching for the social media site TikTok. A new bidder has also entered the picture, Amazon.
Some of you really need to hear this. The deadline for TikTok to change its ownership is Saturday. The Trump administration says it's confident a deal will be worked out in time, avoiding a possible TikTok shutdown for 170 million users in the U.S.
I think that we're in a good place. We're going to keep on working at it.
CBS News has confirmed Amazon has expressed last-minute interest in buying the company, joining other contenders including Blackstone and Oracle. The White House says TikTok needs to separate from its Chinese parent company ByteDance to keep users safe.
You want to make sure that the TikTok app in the United States is not spying on people. Right. That's good for national security. You also want to give people access to this incredible platform.
Congress passed a law last year to force the sale of TikTok, upheld by the Supreme Court. President Trump delayed its enforcement to allow more time to work out a buyer. But some lawmakers warn TikTok's ownership is not the only potential problem.
If we've got a result and the algorithm resides in Beijing, it is all a sham.
President Trump held a meeting Wednesday in the Oval Office about the sale. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Well, UOG Theater has always been known for capturing emotion, telling stories, and bringing the best out of its performers on stage. An intimate 5-person cast is working hard on their production of Gaslight. We got a sneak peek of rehearsal with the cast and crew ahead of the opening night to talk about the process of bringing this story to life and the very serious and important message the audience will take away.
Okay, so here I am at UOG, everybody, in the Fine Arts Auditorium. Gonna go check out this, wait a minute, hey, I know her. Shaylee?
Jason?
Hey, what's up, girl? What are you doing here?
Hey, I'm in Gaslight. Gaslight is a show about husband and wife. They live in their little house. They're a pretty wealthy family, and they live with their 2 maids, Elizabeth and Nancy. I play Nancy.
It's been very challenging to play him. So Jack, he's this really charming, he's this very smart guy who's, he's the gaslighter in the show. Pretty challenging to play him. He's a very complex character.
As an actor, this is like my first full role. This is where I'll be in the spotlight most of the time.
My character is Elizabeth. She is the head maid of the Manningham household. She is stout, direct, and loyal, which I can all feel deep down in here. So this is my first one. I've never done this before, and I am excited for it.
So one of my big things that I'm helping the actors try to do is really embody their characters and remember the circumstances of the situation that they find themselves in.
Yeah, Nancy's my alter ego, I would say that.
It's been a fun experience working with everybody, working with the director, and I think just working together as a group, as a community of sorts.
Aiko, she plays my wife Bella. She's great. She's an amazing actress, and it's honestly just been a whole lot of just playing and just seeing how well we can interact with each other.
Leaps and bounds since we started, for sure. They are really working hard, and I can see the effort that they're putting in.
It's intimate. I think with a 5-person cast, we've had the opportunity to connect more with each other, both on stage and off stage.
I think that for Gaslight, the #1 message I think we'd want to give out is that even in the midst of something as scary and suffocating as, the situation that Bella finds herself in, there's always people who want to be there and help you.
I'm really hoping that it does land with audiences and that they have that emotion. I don't want them to be going home being like, man, I'm sad. I want them to be going home being like, I can recognize it. I can see it. I can do something about it.
There's somebody at like in your corner, I think is what I want them to take away.
Stick around, we have more coming up on Weekend Edition. You're watching KUAM.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
At the heart of Guam, there's one place where everyone comes together. Kmart, your American superstore, celebrating 30 years with you. To our brave service members, enjoy a special military discount every day as our thanks. To our local community, we've grown with you, bringing trusted brands at prices you love. This season, celebrate with us. From fiestas to family gatherings, we're your one-stop shop. Since 1995, we've grown with you. Here's to 30 years of memories, savings, and the spirit of Guam. Kmart, where everyone is family.
Super speed your life with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet. Get symmetrical upload and download speeds up to 5 gigs. Get started with Fiber 500 at $145 a month, Fiber 1 gig at $215 a month, or Fiber 5 gig at $299 a month. Plus, get 2 SuperPod 6Es with any plan, and a free EcoFlow River 3 and bonus welcome kit with 1 gig and 5 gig plans. Experience tomorrow's islands today with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet.
All right, half a day, everybody. Welcome to the show and welcome to the KUAM studios from the Guam Power Authority. John Cruz and Harvey Camacho. Gentlemen, half a day. Happy Easter.
Yeah. Hi, thanks for having us. Happy Easter.
All right, and this, of course, is a very interesting time because you guys at Guam's, the People's Power Authority, are having the Power Symposium, of course, a couple days ahead of the University of Guam CIS's Forum 2. So, John, interestingly enough, POWER is a very appropriate acronym. So break that down for me.
It's promoting optimal ways for energy resiliency.
So not just saving a couple bucks and everything. We're going for, you guys are expert engineers or GPA, so we're going for optimal, right? The best of the best, if we can.
The best that we can. I mean, but, given the constraints that we have too. So everybody talks about optimizing stuff. It's about how do you handle the stuff that you have the resources for.
Absolutely. And Harvey, this isn't the first rodeo for GPA. It's now known as the Power Symposium, but this is the third year we're actually doing
Yes, our third year. I was a speaker on the year prior, and it was a great experience. We got so many experts coming out to the island to be a part of this. And not only that, they want to commit their resources, time, energy, and expertise to our projects. It's a great connection and communication symposium.
And gents, by definition, symposia are always, like a two-way conversation. It's not like, a whole, an authority talking at the audience and everything. You guys are also taking away as much as you're giving and, getting a lot of feedback.
Yes. When we conceived of these pre-conferences, it was about, we need to engage our customers on the island of Guam in a conversation. And we need to be able to people that conversation with experts in the field. And we're not only in touch with what's the latest technology, but what is the latest technology implementations. So we learn from a lot of these people, from the national labs and from the private sector companies who are in this space.
When it comes to technical planning, since you brought up, John, technology, how far out, how many years out, how many billing cycles out are you looking at implementing? Because GPA has always been within the government of Guam, like at the forefront of, making online payments for the consumer and all the front-facing stuff. And then, of course, with your infrastructure and everything like that, you guys are already looking, way down the road.
Well, the Integrated Resource Plan, right, which is been rebaptized, has been baptized by the CCU as the Clean Energy Master Plan. That looks at a 20-year planning horizon. The long-range transmission plans look at 20 years. The medium-range distribution studies look out 5 years. And so that's a range of studies, anywhere between 5 to to 20 years.
Harvey, is there a theme for this year's symposium that you guys are, well, like, all the talks and everything are all centered around?
Well, we always usually say like efficiency and stuff like that, but I think resiliency is the big thing. Is there's a slogan they put out there, making it all work, right? You looked at this, as he said, 20 years, 16 years. This is how long we've been planning this. This is everything is coming together. How is Ukudu and all these things going to affect this? So the big thing is resiliency. We want it to be affordable, efficient, and resilient. And how do we get that into the grid properly? All these experts giving us their advice and their opinions and their expertise of how do you integrate to the grid properly and all this fun stuff. But I would say making it all work.
Okay, has there ever been a time in Guam's history where consumers like me have used more power, like in our households, like out on the road, you know, like EVs are starting to come up now, on a per consumer basis? Have we ever consumed more of the resources that you ultimately provide?
So it looks like the individual customer, we have more residential customers.
There's that too. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're consuming less.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are we really consuming less, or are we consuming
not a lot less, but it's less than
in a more efficient
That's the demand side of it.
You got that. Yes. We are becoming more efficient, right? And we're giving you people money to become even more efficient. Like our energy sense appliance, energy efficient appliance rebate program. We did a report on the performance over 2 years, and during that 2-year span, it resulted on $26 million of direct energy savings by the customer, right? And deferred about $27 million worth of generation. We reduced our peak by about 10 megawatts. So yeah, we're becoming more efficient, and we want you to become more efficient.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Parents, do you know the power of talking, reading, playing, and singing to your baby? These actions help your baby build their language and literacy. Talk and sing to your baby about things around you. Call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays, for more tips and resources to help your child succeed.
Beyond the Game is presented by Gatorade.
All right, Coach, congratulations with history being made for Guam. I know this is the vision that you and your coaching staff have been working on for, the better part of a decade. But I got to ask you first, as a former player, how was the celebration, and how was it for you knowing that, how hard victory is to get at that level when you actually said, we did what we set out to do?
I mean, I think our coaching staff had a little more sense of relief than excitement. I thought we'd be even more excited, jumping up and down, but I believe we just worked so hard to get to this level that we just had a sense of relief that it was all worth it, and we accomplished our goal, and we're not done, because now we've qualified and stamped our ticket to the next round, a higher round, and we also, on top of that, earned the right to host more home games. And to be able to play on Guam at this level is going to be what really carries the program forward. So it was really calming. We were all very relieved that we accomplished our goal. And I mean, there were tears, there was laughter, there was a lot of emotions in our locker room. But at the same time, we knew that there was also one more game that Chinese Taipei needed to beat Thailand and we felt confident that would happen. So
did you really let loose? Because I know I'll never know this, but like, what is it like to celebrate from a coach's perspective? Because some coaches would say we always want to set the tone, and I have to be the distinguished gentleman. Some coaches revert back to like that, that 8-year-old kid who first started playing like in their backyard and everything. What was it like for you, for Jin Han, for all the coaches there?
A lot of hugs. I think I've always been the same. We play hard. We leave it on the floor, and I think not in anger, but I think I hit a few things in the locker room just to make some noise and get everyone excited. Once I got back in the locker room, what was pretty exciting too is that after we beat Thailand, a lot of the media wanted to know more about Guam, and so I was somewhat bombarded with questions, and I was happy to share more about our island and more about our program. And, that kind of took me away from the celebration a little bit, but it comes with the territory when it comes to this level of basketball. So it was really nice to kind of open up people's eyes to what's going on in Guam.
Now, I know as the head coach, you always say that, I'm going to have the last word, and, because I want the last thought before we take the court to be like, like what I'm saying. I want everybody to get on the same page. But at the same time, you always give like all of your players, captain, starter, role players, the ability to speak out and everything. So, what were your first words to the team, and like who really stepped up and like who voiced their opinion about, what you guys just did?
I definitely try to encourage everyone taking leadership roles and being vocal as much as possible. There's times where I need to get everyone centered again and focused on what I'm saying. But often my assistant coaches with tons of experience, Jin Han and McKelly Wesley, really lean on them to add some words of inspiration. And I selected Joe Blas for our team captain again, just because Joe at this stage in his career has really earned the respect of his teammates. Whether he's scoring 2 points or 20 points, he's doing what we ask him to do and playing as hard as he can. And so whatever he says carries a lot of weight. Beyond that, Ty Wesley, of course, as probably one of the best to do it for Guam basketball, definitely has his moment where he wants to talk to the guys and own a huddle. And I kind of know my cue when I'm going to step back and let the players talk and kind of come together. They need that. And a few of the other vets as well. Sometimes we'll speak up.
And on the court, you guys can get really, really fiery. Coaches between each other, players to coaches to players. But, fans would say, oh my gosh, they're coming apart at the seams. Look at them, they're about to fight. But players that have played the game and that have been in those trenches know, they're like, no, they're communicating. You're like, this is how we do things.
I think that's actually something I learned in this window, is that we've come together even more, because a lot of our players, they're not on Guam playing in any leagues together year round. That's the nature of the business when players are seeking professional opportunities abroad, or they're in college or working abroad. And so when we get together, we have to build a bond. And what I saw in this window was our ability, like brothers, to argue, to debate, and then to get back to work and like we didn't miss a step. And we had a few of those moments where we were kind of debating on who's guarding who, about pick and roll coverage. There was even a time where we jumped into a zone to protect Ty Wesley's injury, where he was limping on a pulled calf muscle. And I was looking at everyone and saying, I want to get out of the zone now. I want to pick up before they get going on offense and they get too comfortable. And a few of the guys were like, well, I think we can stay in the zone and still take away the three-point shot. And we had a little debate. And at the end of the day, I said, I believe in you guys. You think we can defend the three-point line in this zone? We're going to stick to it. I think we ran zone for almost 3/4 of the Thailand game, and it worked out fine.
Beyond the Game is presented by Gatorade.
Everything we build is from the ground up. Every great idea, every crazy idea, every next idea, every truck, and everything in it. Everything you hear, everything you see, everything you feel when you drive it. We put everything we have into our trucks, so you get everything out of them. We're Ram. Trucks are what we do.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
It's the end of the work week, but the party is just starting for Justin Jesse San Agustin to celebrating birthday number 25. Hey, you know what? He's a KUM kid forever, but he is a grown man right now, and we here as KUM family are super, super proud of him. We've known him since he was a kid, and Justin, you have grown up to be responsible, respectful, and amazing, amazing young man, and both of your parents are super proud of you, and they're sending all of their love with the really, really bright heart emojis, and we're really, really proud of you. Happy birthday to Justin.
I don't know what I've been told.
I don't know what I've been told.
Someone here is getting old.
Someone here is getting old.
Your Cold Stone Creamery birthday cake winner
for this week goes to...
All right, let's get to this week's Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club winner, and it is Josephine Crisostomo, who now has a Cold Stone Creamery ice cream cake to her name. And Josephine, please look out for a message for us, because we're going to reach out and let you know when and where you can pick up your extended birthday present.
That's all from us here on Weekend Edition. Visit KUAM.com or follow us at KUAM News on social media for the latest news. For now, I'm Mitsuki Hirayama. Have a safe weekend.
The One Micronesia